What's up, YouTube? Right now we're in Waterloo and we're actually in a flip property instead of all these conversions and multiplexes. And we got Mike Paquete here, former student of mine here, just did extremely well on this property here. We're not going to tell you the numbers till a little bit later on, but Mike, can you tell us a little bit about the property? So not too old of a property, and you guys were really fortunate with even what you picked it up for and what you had to do for it. A purely cosmetic flip.
Yeah, absolutely. Built in 2003. So yeah, really good condition, just outdated, like builder grade finishes, vinyl, like the sheet type flooring.
Yes.
Basic finishes. So yeah, right away we knew that we wanted to just update it. We picked it up for $602. And you can see like we pretty much finished it top to bottom. We did keep a few things to try and keep costs down. A couple of things that we actually kept the kitchen cabinets. So we didn't have to replace kitchen. The railings here and then the carpet. Other than that, everything else is brand new. And we also did finish, we added living space downstairs.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Added some square footage, and I'm super happy how this turned out.
Definitely. We gotta go show us the kitchen here.
Yeah, so let's go. Let's have a look.
Right, so these cabinets are already here. I wonder if they actually maybe upgraded their cabinets at one point, but you guys just changed the handles.
Correct, yeah, so there was no backsplash, standard, just silver knobs. We went with the black finishes, like you can see the lights and door handles throughout. Looks really sleek. Really nice quartz countertop. Give it that higher end feeling.
Did you get that locally, or did you have to outsource that to like Toronto or?
No, local KW countertops. So that was great to work with them. It really dressed up the kitchen nicely. So, quartz, backsplash, the handles. This here actually, we added the chimney.
Put it in the range hood, okay.
Range. So this actually, there used to be like an above cabinet with a standard fan. So we blew that out and gave it that chimney style range hood.
Awesome. Did you guys go with all new appliances here too?
All brand new. So new fridge, stove, dishwasher. Turned out really good. I'm really happy with the way it turned out.
It's actually, people are just getting less house for the money these days. And it's, I'm in this property here. We got a highway behind us, but it's really quiet because the windows are fairly new. And, people still get a garage. They're right in a good subdivision. I literally saw kids like running down the street to go meet each other because there must be a lot of kids in the neighborhood, right? So even though you can almost touch your neighbor's house, actually you guys are attached, but a lot of the neighbors that have detached houses, like you can very close together, but that's also good for just community and people being, together and things of that nature, right? So let's go see this finished space downstairs, because I'm surprised that it wasn't finished before, because you guys got like a walkout. Oh wow, so this is the downstairs here. I like these little features, like a little built-in fridge.
Yeah, so you kind of get the vibe. So the space is about 250 square feet. So like I said, upstairs, that was our value add, was to finish this basement and give more square footage.
If you think about what things cost per square foot, I mean, if it's $200 a square foot, I mean, you guys just literally just added $40,000 to $50,000 worth of value, even though it doesn't look like a lot. I'm surprised that whoever bought this property didn't finish this before, because it's a great walkout to the backyard. So the driveway versus the backyard is like this, so people can actually this does not feel like a basement. You got big windows, you got the sliding patio door. So I make up this is probably where people are gonna come, and if the kids are sleeping upstairs, the wives kick the boys downstairs. This is where you guys can go watch the game or play poker or play some darts or whatever it might be. So. And
that's exactly the vibe we were trying to go for. Like we were thinking, young family, where they want a space to kind of get away after. And that's why, we got the little bar fridge there, kind of bar seating here, give it that place to hang out in the evening when the kids go to bed, or, older couple looking to downsize and, want to entertain a little bit, so.
Yes. I think you said that this property was bought by someone who wants to use it as a rental. So this might almost be able to be set up like a bachelor unit. They wouldn't have their own washroom, but they could have like their own little kitchenette down here, hot plate, microwave, whatever, and just come up to use the washroom once in a while. And you never know, or multi-generational, it's hard to say, but especially once you mentioned that back laneway, they could actually be coming in this way, right into their unit. So I was creeping out some of your mechanicals here while we were waiting for you to come in. Did you guys have to take over like a rented furnace and hot water tank? Or
no, so the water tank, yes. But when I saw the Reliance furnace, that was the first thing I'm like, okay, great, we've got a rented furnace. But no, I followed up with Reliance, not rented.
Oh, okay, just some kind of a service.
They must have bought it outright or something like that. So I definitely did confirm that, because that would,
Yeah, well,
would not
and
have
just
been good.
and for new listeners listening, if you ever go to purchase a property and the furnace and air conditioner are a rental, you could be into a big buyout just to make sure that because the contract has to go to the new owner, and it's like $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 sometimes. It's pretty crazy. Hot water tanks are pretty normal. You rent those by the month. They're like $30, $40 a month, not a big deal. Furnaces and air conditioners, they were a big deal, so watch out. We're upstairs in the master level here, 3 bedrooms, really good size. We've got a walk-in closet, nicely redone bathroom. But let's get to the numbers, because everybody wants to know the numbers. So we know what you bought it for, Mike. Tell us a little bit about the story. There's some comps in the neighborhood, some things we're selling down the street. The comps were good enough for you to buy the deal. I think you had to buy it almost sight unseen.
Yep.
And then as you were renovating it, how long was the renovation? Renovation took you?
It would have been 11 weeks.
Okay.
So I picked it up October 29th, and we were done middle of January, so January 15th. I
Okay.
believe.
And as you guys are renovating, there was a couple of good comps, percolating in the neighborhood. Maybe hard to compare. They weren't apples to apples, but the numbers were looking pretty good. You guys were already sitting pretty after a while.
Absolutely, yeah. When we bought it, the original anticipation was we were gonna sell maybe at around 775 to 800. And I think, yeah, like you said, it was good enough for us to go ahead and pull the trigger. We knew that the renovation, because it was, just cosmetics, we weren't, minimal demolition.
Yes. And you found a really good time and material contractor, right? So
That's right.
because I know in the past you've been right in there getting things done. But for this one, you guys only just had to spend a couple hours ripping out some carpet, and that was it. Just let the contractor do their thing, which, it's always great just to manage one person instead of managing multiples. So
Absolutely, yeah. The contractor was great. He really made a lot of good suggestions along the way. If he had any suggestions that would, save us some money, he gave us his input, and we didn't always go with his suggestions, but there were a few times where he saved us a few $1,000s with, some suggestions that he made. So it was great to have somebody like that. But yeah, like at 800,000, we were very happy with, making a bit of a profit on it. And then we listed Saturday morning. By 11 o'clock that night, we had a firm or accepted offer, no conditions, and it ended up going for $1 million.
$1 million, guys. So set a new record in the neighborhood, or at least tied a record. 150 to 170,000 over what they thought they would get. Ridiculous. Now a lot of that is the market, and KW is really exploding. A lot of people want to be in this area. I always like this area. I lived out in this way for a couple of years. So, but I mean, you guys must have been just, over the moon. Because I know there's been times where you guys have been grinding just to get a good refinance or a good appraisal on a property. And now to have something like this for someone who's, like you're not a full-time flipper, you work at Toyota. So for something like this, when you have some of these sales, these can make a big difference in somebody's life. And you don't need a whole lot of these before you start looking at the day job going, maybe I'd like to do this more. So
yeah, it was definitely a good Saturday night. Everybody in the house was pretty happy. But I think, you touched on it where, the market, made this, went from a good deal to, a home run deal. But for me, the key, and I keep reflecting back on it, is, I could have came up with an excuse or a reason as to, why not take it. It's too risky, margins are too tight.
Yeah, some people won't do a flip if they're like, oh, I'm only going to make 50 grand on it. They just
Right.
won't do it. But
Yeah.
you guys,
Yeah, and
Decided
the
it was.
original margins were going to be between 50 or 60,000, and I wanted to get my feet wet, test it out, really see the theory, and really how particular you got to be with the contractor and the renovations. A lot of thought went into this place.
yeah.
We could have easily, blown it up with very high-end finishes, but it is a townhouse. But I think we did a very good job minimizing the
looks
budget.
great. It's modern. It's
Modern, and because we were willing to, you know, do it and stick our neck out there. You know, it paid off in the end. So,
Definitely.
and it wasn't an uneducated guess.
No, I mean, you know,
Obviously.
just for people don't know Mike, so Mike has already done some duplex conversions. He's been investing for a while, so this isn't his, when did you buy your first rental property?
That would have been about 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
So I sold a little bit, got back into it.
There you go, a decade of experience. And shout out to his realtor, because, you know, it was really strategic with just the way that you guys decided to list. You could have held off. There was another 2 more listings in the area.
Yep.
And you guys decided to kind of piggyback off some of the traffic, and you know, we're open to taking a preemptive, which a lot of people wouldn't. They'd be like, no, offer day, let's just make people wait. But things can change really fast. People can get accepted offers on different properties, and then all of a sudden that offer's gone. So
Yep, and that did happen that day. You know, offers were being retracted because other people had offers accepted.
yes.
So yeah, absolutely. It definitely worked out.
Yeah, so you got $1 million firm. Wasn't actually the highest offer either, so there was other people offering higher, but you went with the real money. And when does it close now?
February 28th.
February 28th.
So it's 5-week closing.
For 5 weeks.
Yep.
Not a big deal. So we were thinking about throwing a party here, but we're just gonna turn the heat down, lock it up, and make sure it closes on time. So again, everybody, you know, don't be afraid to get into real estate investing. Too many people are sitting on the sidelines. They're not taking action. They're worried about the market's always going up. Well, guess what? If you're not getting accepted offers, the market just keeps going up and up and up. You're better off just to go put in a slightly higher offer. Who knows what the market's going to do this year? I think it's still going to go up a little bit. You know, we still have some room to rise. Rates haven't gone up yet until next rate change is going to be announced in about a quarter from now. So I got to tell people, like, stop sitting on the sidelines, go take some action and partner up with some people that know what they're doing if you're afraid to make the wrong mistakes. So hopefully you enjoyed this video here. Make sure you subscribe, throw a comment down below of what you think the numbers were like on this one. Was this a unicorn deal, or did Mike do an amazing job? His renovation budgets here were about 80,000, I believe. So all in for about 682. That includes everything, painting, staging, you name it. Amazing deal. So you don't need too many of these to change your life. Make sure that you are doing things to change your life here too. Thanks for the subscribe, everybody. We'll see you on the next video.